Hello everyone and welcome back to CCEX Cinder. I'm your host Hawk20 and we are on to the 5th day of this particular tournament. Now let's go ahead and quickly talk about the EX contracts for today and kind of give a brief little summary on each of them as well as any additional information bits we need to provide. Nonetheless, we are taking place today at Frost-Covered Ruins. I'm not a big fan of this map. It's not actually because of the Yeti squad. The Yeti squad actually isn't too hard to deal with. It's more of the cold and frozen debuffs that really make things really difficult. And I guess you could compound that with the Yeti squad's unique abilities against frozen operators. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and dive in and see how these particular EX ones do for today. The first one up is my personal favorite. It is Crab Rave. Let one metal crab score. Now this does conflict with last line defense, so if that one is available for the day, just ignore that one and try to let a crab through. There is one downside to this thing if you are not prepared for it, and that is you're gonna have to kill a leader, whether you like it or not. It's gonna be a major challenge because those guys are gonna be really beefy today. Up next is probably the most difficult EX contract out of the lot so far, and that is going to be Break Time. Now, Break Time is basically described as after activating a manual skill, the operator must be retreated at the end of the skill's duration. Now, this just really means that you have to figure out your timings perfectly. Getting them off by just a tiny bit could make a huge difference. The nice thing is, manual skills are sometimes some of the most powerful skills that an operator has at their disposal. We do have things like Aya's Volcano, you have Silver Ash's True Silver Slash, and even Surtur's very powerful S3 alone. All of those are very powerful to work with. Now, I will also say that there are some interesting things that people have brought up. Silver Ash's Rules of Survival, for example, that is considered as an instant attack. So if you do use it, you're pretty much going to be immediately removing him from the map. It's kind of hilarious, actually. But yeah, passives are also perfectly fine. We're kind of putting them in the same group as autos for this one. Nonetheless, passives and auto skills are perfectly fine. So best of luck if you pick up this contract, and hope you have some good time trying to find the perfect timing for that. The next one is a new one for this particular season, and that is, it's so cold. Have at least one operator in range of an ice tower for at least half of the fight. Now, we've specified that half of the fight means that half of the enemies have been defeated. It's not half of the duration of your match, because there's no way we are going to be able to know that. And it can be very difficult for you to even know that too, because if you're doing things like the slow and shift strat against the leaders, then it's going to take like a lot longer than it really should. However, I will say this person doesn't need to be doing anything. So if there's an operator you specifically just don't like, I guess you can kind of just watch them be a popsicle for the entire fight. It's up to you what you want to do with it. But nonetheless, they need to be up and running for at least half the fight. This includes that if the person that you had originally getting frozen gets knocked out for whatever reason, you need to have it replaced immediately in order for it to be maintained. The final EX contract for this particular group is Squad Size 1. Max squad size is reduced to 10 ops. Now normally it's 13 if you're using a support or 12 if you don't. So it's not too heavy of a loss, but it can be when in combination with a lot of these other EX contracts. So best of luck if you do pick this one up, and definitely make sure you've got some powerful survivability on your operators here, because you lose an operator, you're not going to have many to work with as backup. Now we do have one more EX contract. That one's just kind of one that we have running throughout the entire season, as I've mentioned before, and that is the One and Only. The One and Only is basically a one-up relay. Not much else I can really explain about that, but for those who aren't entirely sure what those are, at any given time during the map, you can only have one operator deployed. If you want to replace the operator, you're going to have to undeploy one and then redeploy, or then deploy another one. It is a tough one in itself, but if you can pull it off, it is an amazing thing to look at. So, with that in mind, if you do pick this one up, best of luck for you. And that's going to be all for today's EX contract modifiers. Hope you guys have the best of luck with today's daily, as well as having good luck with your permamap runs. And if you do have a clear, feel free to send it to us. We do have links for both my Discord and Twitter in the description below. Feel free to check those out, and if you feel up for it, feel free to send me any of the particular runs that you've done. Nonetheless, have an awesome time, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for day 6. This is Hawk20 signing out.